As of the March 23rd hotfix notes, Bungie mentioned in the armor mod section, charged and power finish to count as a finisher mod for purposes of mutual exclusivity. The mod can no longer be equipped alongside a finisher mod that also consumes armor charge stacks. Having the ability to generate and spend armor charge stacks on the same mod was creating conditions where latency would sometimes cause the perks to activate in an incorrect order. Additionally, when combined with stacks on stacks, powering finish was circumventing the basic armor charge mechanics too easily, resulting in generating too many orbs of power, ammo bricks, overshields, etc. Now, this really did affect our detonation, severance, and closure build that I put out the other day, since this did really work with getting those armor charge stacks from our finishers with the severance and closure, especially creating giant volatile explosions, but being able to constantly get our grenade while using the special finisher for the grenade in our Titan mark. Now, I was like, okay, that's really stupid. I want to be able to still use this build essentially because it was so much fun. And with a few little tweaks, I essentially just recreated the same thing, and I think probably made it better than it was before. What's going on, everybody? Birdman here with another Destiny 2 video. Today we're talking about our updated severance and closure build. I'm just gonna do a really fast recap. This is pretty much exactly the same as the last one. We just changed up a few things to kind of ramp up some super energy while also being able to use our grenade as much as humanly possible. But before I get into everything, know you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Birdman778. Give a thumbs up on this video, comment down below something that you are interested in seeing, and maybe become a member. Helps out, especially since we're just doing YouTube stuff right now. Let me hop right into it. All right, I really don't want to waste a whole lot of time on this just because, again, this is essentially the same exact build. You guys can watch that video as well. Echo of Secession, Echo of Undermining, Echo of Starvation, and Echo of Expulsion are huge ones, especially that Secession, because doing those finisher final blows create a burst of void damage that causes nearby combatants to become volatile, and then we also get a void breach from that. I absolutely recommend running Bubble, super fast cooldown, constantly able to activate it, and it's constantly going to give us grenades. I definitely recommend Vortex just because it's an absolute juicer. Shield Throw as well for easy overshield activation. Absolutely got to do Controlled Demolition so that we're getting those easy kills off of the volatile explosions we're going to be creating. And then Offensive Bulwark so that we are constantly getting that extra grenade, melee energy, overshield duration, all that stuff. Again, we're constantly going to be popping Bubble. These are important things to have. Weapon wise, again, I always just give you one that I'm just going to say have this no matter what, and that's going to be the Wave Splitter. I'm not going to really waste much time on this just because, again, we've talked about the Wave Splitter causing a lot of orbs, going to constantly have that high energy charge. It's a void trace rifle as well. We're going to be able to constantly just get giant void explosions. It's a lot of fun. I love this. It's a perfect weapon for this void build, especially the fact that we're able to kind of control the damage on a little bit better, enough that we can get finishers on enemies and use our severance and closure, which is the next thing I really want to talk about. Powered melee final blows unleash damaging explosion finishers, and final blows against more powerful targets increases the radius and damage of the explosion. I absolutely love this, especially with that Echo Secession mod, for the fact that we're able to just constantly bounce around the battlefield, doing finishers on enemies, creating giant explosions, getting a lot of grenade energy, throwing a grenade a lot. It is a whole lot of fun. And also the fact that whenever you do your shield throw, if it kills an enemy, it's going to do a giant explosion right there as well. So again, really, really fun stuff. Quick overview of all the armor mods that you need to be using on helmet. I actually use double ashes assets because we're gonna be able to chuck a lot of grenades with this build, so we're able to constantly create super energy. I was getting an obscene amount of bubbles whenever I was doing the overload mission where you have to go kill Brachion. On Master, this build absolutely breezes through it, and obviously a Void Siphon to get orbs whenever we're getting kills with our Wave Splitter. On our gloves, this is where the kind of change up is coming in. We are putting on firepower, so we're able to get orbs from our grenade kills that we're always gonna be doing. I added in this time grenade kickstart. Now, this is going to help us whenever we throw a grenade. It is going to use up our armor charges to give us grenade energy back. When before we were using the finisher where it would give us a grenade, we're not able to have certain mods coexist with one another now. So this is a great way to kind of fill in that gap. And again, constantly use your bubble so that you're getting more grenades and be able to constantly chuck them around. It's crazy how fast paced this build gets, especially with grenade kickstart. And then impact induction, causing damage with a melee attack, reduces your grenade cooldown. Obviously, don't tell you much about that. That's really nice to have. Even just run around punching, like be a Titan, punch some stuff. It's a lot of fun. Mods on the Severance Enclosure, I'm going to put charged up for an extra slot. This one is one that you probably could take off and put on maybe just another concussive dampener, but I think it's just fine to have this as well, just for the fact that we're also able to constantly have at least 3 armor charges to take good advantage of our grenade kickstart, and then obviously 2 concussive dampeners. On our legs, I like to run a recuperation one. I'm just always, I don't know what the word superstitious would be in regards to, especially like health gating in this game. So I like to have this just for a really fast, easy way, because orbs will always be on the ground. Absolution to get cooldown on everything, and then a stacks on stacks, ensuring every single time we pick up an orb power, we're getting an additional armor charge. And then finally on our Titan Mark. Now, again, this is where things change. Before, we had 2 of these empowered finishers and then 1 of these explosive finishers. Now, we can't have this and the finisher. I really want to have this just because we're going to be constantly finishing enemies, so we're able to get that extra armor charge and it taking advantage of like things like stacks on stacks. But instead this time, again, we took that off to put on the grenade kickstart, and then I put on 2 distributions so that whenever we activate our class ability, so that's gonna be our rally barricade around enemies, we're getting more cooldown. This is one where maybe you could swap it out for something like Reaper if you really wanted to, or Time Dilation. I just prefer this just because it's just going to give everything that we want to be constantly using a good little cooldown. On the artifact, obviously you want to get into Volatile Flow, get the Grenade and Void mod down below, get the Shatter Orbs, absolutely. I like to get Void weapon channeling. You're not gonna get a whole lot of benefit out of it. You gain temporary bonus to void weapon damage after you defeat a target with a void weapon while at least one of your void abilities is fully charged. This damage bonus increased based on the number of fully charged abilities. We're gonna be constantly throwing our grenade and our shield throw. So this is one where like maybe if you don't pop your rally barricade all the time, you're gonna get a little bit of a boost. It's nice to have, but again, it doesn't really matter because everyone's constantly dying from the giant explosions anyway, so who cares? It's really neat. Bungie tried to nerf us, and we came back swinging. I am pretty glad that this build still is really nice and juicy. Check out the video from before, though. I mean, it's not much different, but at the same time, those few little changes feel really fun and interesting, and I just love this setup. Void Titan is so much fun. It is the best class in the game. Fight me on it. Please don't fight me on it. I'm not that good at fighting. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekends, and make sure you're following the channel. Give it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribing. I don't know what else. Go check out my Twitter as well. I really appreciate that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a great rest of your night, day, or maybe.